Welcome learners. I am Dr. T. Gangaram, lecturer in statistics, PVKN Government College, Chittoor. In this video lecture, we are going to discuss the empirical relationship between mean, median and mode and skewness based on central values. The learning objective of this lecture is the concept, introduction of the concept symmetry, empirical relationship between mean, median and mode and skewness based on central values and examples of using the empirical relationship between mean, median and mode. First, let us look at the concept symmetry. This empirical relationship is defined for symmetric distribution only. For asymmetrical distribution, this empirical relationship holds good. First, let us look at the symmetry concept. Look at this example. Here we have classes 0 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 15, 15 to 20, 20 to 25, 25 to 30. The mid value of the first class is 2.5, 7.5, 12.5. These are the mid values of these 6 classes. The frequencies are: first class frequency is 10, second class 30, third class 60, fourth 60 and fifth 30, after last class 10. These frequencies are gradually increasing. After reaching one stage, the values are gradually decreasing. The distance also, here the distance is 20 and here the distance is 30, here 30 and 20. This type of data is called a symmetric data. For a symmetric data, the mean, median and mode coincide. All the 3 values are equal. Next, the distance from third quartile and second quartile is equal to the distance from second quartile and first quartile. They are equidistant. The second quartile divides the data exactly 2 parts. The frequency curve, the shape of the frequency curve is perfectly bell shaped. These are the 3 characteristics of a symmetric curve. For a moderately asymmetrical distribution, a distribution which is not of this type, that type of data is asymmetrical distribution. There is a relationship followed by these 3 central values, mean, median and mode. The relationship is called empirical relationship between mean, median and mode. This relationship is nothing but mean minus mode is equal to 3 into mean minus median. This is the empirical relationship between mean, median and mode. This relationship is observed from experience and it is not at all mathematically derived. When we are given the values of any 2 of these 3 measures, we can find this relationship to calculate the another value. Suppose if we are given mean and median, we can find mode. If we are given median and mode, we can find mean. Similarly, in some cases, mode is ill-defined. If the frequency is in the beginning of the class interval or if the frequency is at the end of highest frequency is in the beginning of the class interval or highest frequency is the end of the class interval or highest frequency repeated 2 times, then we cannot find mode for such data. Okay, this relationship is occasionally used to find mode. We discussed earlier. Also, this relationship will also use it to find mode for a bimodal or trimodal or multimodal data. Let us look at some examples. In a moderately skewed distribution, mean is 15, mode is 12. Find the value of median for the given distribution. We are using mean minus mode is equal to 3 into mean minus median. this 15 minus 12, we have 3. 15 minus 12, 3. This 3. 3 into 15, 45, minus 3 into minus 3 median. So median is equal to this 45 minus 3, 42 by 3, this is equal to 14. Find the mode for the given data. Look at the data, 2, 5, 3, 2, 2 repeat 2 times, 3 repeated 2 times. So this is bimodal data. First we find mean for the given data. Mean is equal to sum of observations by number of observations. There are 9 observations. 33 by 9 is equal to 3.67. By arranging the data in ascending order, the middle value is 3, nothing but median. By using the empirical relationship, mean minus mode is equal to 3 into mean minus median. By using this relationship, the mode is nothing but 1.66. Compute mode for the following data. This is a continuous frequency distribution. Here for this continuous frequency distribution, the frequencies are 10, 20, 30, 35, 35. Look here, this 35 repeated 2 times. For this type of data, we cannot calculate mode directly. So here mode is equal to, formula for mode is L plus F minus F1 by 2F minus F1 minus F2. Here F is the frequency of highest class, F1 is the frequency just before the model class, F2 is the frequency just after, below the model class. C is the class interval. Here the highest frequency was repeated. We cannot decide F, which is the highest frequency. We cannot decide the maximum frequency for the given data. So we use the empirical relationship between mean, median and mode to find mode. First we need to calculate Fx, mid value, Fx and cumulative frequency. This Fx is used to find mean, cumulative frequency is useful for finding median. Now mean is equal to sigma Fx by n. I used direct method here, F into x, this F into x 20, 20 into 6 120, like that. Sigma Fx is 1560, sigma F is equal to total frequency, n is equal to 130. This is nothing but mean is 12. Since n by 2, for calculating median, we need to decide the median class. Median class is the class with cumulative frequency just greater than n by 2 value. Here n by 2 is 65. This 65 is here in the 12 and 16 class. So 12 and 16 is the median class. So by using the formula L plus n by 2 minus m by f into c, here L is equal to lower limit of median class, n is equal to total frequency, m is the cumulative frequency just before the median class, c is equal to class interval. Here we have class interval 4. The difference between upper and lower limit is 4, and 65 is the n by 2, 60 is the frequency, cumulative frequency up to median class. By using all the values in this formula, median is 12.57. Just substitute this mean and median in the empirical relationship. Mean minus mode is equal to 3 into mean minus median. This is nothing but 13.71 is the mode for the given data. Next, skewness based on central values. Literally, skewness means lack of symmetry. A data without symmetry is called skewed data. We study skewness to have an idea about the shape of the frequency curve for the given data. A frequency distribution is said to be skewed distribution if these three conditions arise: mean, median and mode are not equal, and the quartiles Q1, Q3 are not equidistant from second quartile Q2. That is, the distance between Q3 and Q2 is not equal to the distance between Q2 and Q1. And the frequency curve is not symmetrical but stretched more from one side than other side, or the larger part of the curve is distributed either right side or left side of the graphical representation of data. Look here, this is rightly stretched curve. This is rightly stretched curve. This is leftly stretched curve. This is right means right to the diagram. This is left means left to the diagram. Mean mode is here, mode is in the beginning, median is middle, mean. Here for a positively skewed curve, mode is less than mean. Here for a negatively skewed curve, mode is greater than mean. This is the difference between positively skewed and negatively skewed curve. This is rightly stretched curve, this is leftly stretched curve. Mode is less than median, less than mean for a positively skewed curve. Mean is less than median and less than mode for a negatively skewed curve. Okay, the larger part of the curve is distributed either right side or left side of the graphical curve, and the measurement of skewness is Karl Pearson coefficient of skewness. It is given by mean minus mode by standard deviation. If mode is ill-defined, we use the empirical relationship 3 into mean minus median by standard deviation. The value of this coefficient lies between, this Karl Pearson coefficient is always lies between -3 and +3. PSK is equal to 0, then the frequency curve is called a symmetrical curve or normal curve. If mean is greater than mode and mean is greater than median, then this type of skewness is said to be positive and the curve is positively skewed curve. If the mean is less than mode or mean is less than median, then skewness is said to be negative and the curve is negatively skewed curve. Next, coefficient of skewness given by Bowley's coefficient of skewness. This measure is based on first and second and third quartiles. It is also known as quartile coefficient of skewness. This BSK is given by Q3 plus Q1 minus 2Q2 by Q3 minus Q1. Here Q1, Q2, Q3 are the first, second and third quartiles. Q2 is median. The limits of Bowley's coefficient of skewness is -1 and +1. The values of the coefficients of skewness is obtained by these two above methods are not comparable. Moments measure of skewness also there. Here beta 1 is equal to mu3 square by mu2 cube. Here mu2 is the second moment and mu3 is the third central moment. The examples for calculation of coefficient of skewness. Here we have wages and number of workers. Calculate coefficient of skewness for the above data. We need to find mean, median and standard deviation for calculating Karl Pearson coefficient of skewness. Here we have added all the values. Sigma f is equal to n, sigma x square for calculating of standard deviation, sigma fx for finding mean, sigma fx square useful for sigma x square fx square is used for standard deviation. Highest frequency is 15, mode is equal to 13. Since this is discrete data, the value of the variable correspond to highest frequency is nothing but the mode. Here the highest frequency is 15, value corresponding to this highest frequency is 13, so 13 is the mode of the given data. Mean is equal to sigma fx by sigma f, nothing but 12.78. Next, standard deviation is 1.527. We have used deviation method to calculate standard deviation, that nothing but 1.527. Skewness is equal to mean minus mode is minus 0.22. This indicates negatively skewed distribution. Karl Pearson coefficient of skewness PSK is given by mean minus mode by standard deviation, that is equal to mean is equal to 12.78, mode is equal to 13 by standard deviation 1.527 is equal to minus 0.144. This is coefficient of skewness. This skewness is negative, indicates the tail of the left side of the distribution is longer than the tail of the right side. This indicate strong